You worked 40 years and can't even afford a damn vacation? You're not alone. I get it. I'm right there with you. I worked my whole life. I'm Pam, retired mom and grandma, and I thought I was set for my retirement. I had plans to travel, but then insurance costs doubled, unexpected expenses hit, and I'm freaking stressed out. You work your whole life, give your life to the job, and now you're stuck at home, afraid to spend, watching cruise commercials from your recliner, seeing other people's beach vacation, thinking, wow, that must be nice. This isn't freedom. This is survival.
Y'all, I just went today and got my driver's license renewed, my car tags renewed, picked up 2 prescriptions, and got a few groceries. To say that I'm completely broke now is an understatement. So I'm going to have to go home and start selling off my furniture to be able to live the rest of the month. I mean, that's just, it's unbelievable.
This video goes out to all the people that went out and voted for Donald Trump. Especially all you people receiving EBT, Medicaid, food stamps. Y'all voted for Donald Trump, and now, guess what? We got to go back to work. To qualify for EBT and food stamps, you have to be working 30 hours a week. I got 5 kids. I can't work 30 hours a week. Who's going to take care of my kids? Y'all done fucked around and found out, now fucked it up for everybody. You mean to tell me I got to go back to work and I got 5 kids? Who's going to take care of these 5 kids?
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills. And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well, if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
Across America right now, millions of people are struggling, and not just to live, but to survive. Grocery prices are rising, rents are climbing, things like gas, healthcare, and even basic necessities are becoming unaffordable. And yet the government keeps telling people that the economy is strong. But if the economy is so strong, why are Americans lining up at food banks? Why are parents skipping meals so that their children can eat? And why are families working 2 or even 3 jobs just to stay afloat? Let's get to see the reactions, then we come back with commentary. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing so you never miss any update from my videos. Let's dive into it.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes, and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor, and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
How are we all living right now? In 2025, how are we all getting by? And this is no way political, so please leave that behind at the door. But in reality, friends, fellow Americans, how are we living? How are you getting by? I don't believe there's a middle class anymore. I believe middle class is now low income, and low income is now just not surviving. So what brings me to this today is, well, a few things. One thing, for example, our town has been building these apartments, and every town is required to give so much percentage to affordable housing. And so they've announced that the lottery is beginning for the low income section of this apartment building at $2,300 a month for a 2-bedroom. A 1-bedroom was like $2,100. That's how much you would have to make basically a week. And that's low income. Our state senator on Facebook announced that. Very exciting news. I called it out. Many people agreed. Some didn't. You can kind of see where we're going with that. Who's not struggling right now and who is and understands. Another example, groceries. Is there anyone that can afford to buy groceries at this day and time? Everyone, I'm sure, has cut back. I can be honest. I no longer eat 3 meals a day, maybe 1. I mean, I do have an eating issue anyway, but so it's easy for me to do that. But what about the people that don't? Like, you can't afford to eat anymore. I remember when things were normal. I have a Market Basket as our local grocery store, and I could get a full week's worth of groceries for $100 or less. Eggs were 99 cents. It was just the affordable grocery store. It is still the most affordable grocery store, but that $100 is now $300. My son buys the same groceries every week when he was by himself, before he had his son. And it used to be between 40 and 50 bucks. He was a single guy. But then it went to $100 for the same exact grocery list, like the same exact things. It's just not sustainable for anybody. And then if God forbid, like that, what has just happened to us, you run into any kind of crisis, because we have very recently, we're in it right now. What do you do? What do you do? Because there's no money to put away anymore. There's no money. Every ounce of what we had was going into the bills that we started back when things were more affordable. But as costs were rising, those same bills are now double, but with the same income. But I mean, what do people do? I know, like, side hustles, everyone's doing side hustles now, but then it's harder to get side hustles because everybody needs them. And when you have a full-time job where you're working 40, 50, I don't even think full-time is 40 anymore, like say 50, 60 hours. My son works 60 hours a week and still can't afford anything. After caring for his son, he can't afford anything. And I just don't know how people are doing it. And like I said, I don't know when crisis hits, what are people supposed to do? The only people making out right now are people that have the money and can afford this kind of economy.
So we in America can't even afford to live anymore. This 1976 cost of living The average income was $16,000. A home was $43,000. New car, $5,000. Rent, $220 per month. Just look at these prices. So based on that, they're saying that the average income should be what, $84,000 now? So that means that with $240,000, I should be able to buy a new house. It's not possible. And also the average income is not $84,000. You know, most people are making way less than that. $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, but it's not $84,000. And based on this, I should be able to get a new car. That's what? It says it would be like $5,000. So if my income is $80,000, a new car should be like $20,000, which most of the time they also are not. I mean, unless you're getting a value car. Also, if we're looking at this, your rent for the year should only be 15% of $6,000, which would be about $2,000 something dollars, which our rent is not 15% per year. It's like 30 or 40% per month. So yeah, something is definitely wrong. New car, nothing is adding up. So basically, we're not making enough to support what things cost, and it's a horrible thing.
Well, it's official. Y'all president that y'all voted for is cutting almost 48 million people food stamps off. You either have to be working 80 hours a month in school or volunteering to get food stamps. So he's just saying fuck all the disabled people, fuck all the homeless people, fuck all the low income people. And it's just so sad. Like, I just don't understand. Why would y'all vote for him? It's crazy because I feel like it's a war between the rich and the poor. It don't matter what your skin color is. He don't give a fuck. If you don't have no money, you might as well just get ready, because this is going to be a long journey. It's only been his first year and he already doing all this bullshit. He's fucking up the country.
Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was going to be up to date, I wouldn't have been riding no bikes, playing no video games. I would have bought a house when I was 10. They did a study based on today's economy. Like, what should minimum wage be based on today's economy to make sure an American is comfortable living a day-to-day life, like with the prices, how the prices is up to date. Bro, do you know how much they say you need to make an hour to be comfortable around this motherfucker? $66 fucking dollars an hour. $66 an hour, bro. Who the fuck making that? That ain't even the kicker. You make $66 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. At the end of the month, guess how much you gonna have in whole? 10 bands. Oh no, but don't think you taking the whole 10 bands. You forgot about Uncle Sam. You're going home with 6,500. Maybe a 7-ball if you lucky. Okay, so eliminate all the bills and life expenses from that 6,500. You left even motherfuckers who making $66 an hour after paying all their bills and life expenses at the end of the month. They only gonna be able to save a band or two a month. So regular motherfuckers like me and you was just cooked. We po. We just at this point we just on the internet seeing who can be po better. Who can be best at being po.
How do you guys do it? How do you survive? How, like, I'm apartment shopping. I'm looking for a place to live, and it's so out of my reach. I work 2 jobs from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then from 4 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. I literally run to my second job just to be on time, and I still can't afford living in California. Like, I just can't. I know some of you guys have roommates. I can't do that because I take care of my mom, you know? So it's awkward. It's not everybody's willing to share a house with an elderly woman, you know? So how? I feel like a single parent. Like, I'm apartment shopping. I've even considered renting a room. And just to give you a perspective, a room here in Thousand Oaks, where I live in Ventura County, is going for $1,200 a room, 1 room. God forbid I look for a studio, you know? And it's like, they want $1,600 for a little tiny studio, and they want you to make 3 times the amount of rent. Perfect credit. God forbid I look for a 2-bedroom or even a 1-bedroom apartment. 1-bedroom apartment goes for $2,300 in my area. A 2-bedroom apartment goes for $3,200. How do you guys survive? Jesus Christ, when did fucking living become a luxury? Like, how? let me know. Like, 'cause I've even considered moving to Nevada. I considered moving to other states where rent is cheaper. But if you think about it, the minimum wage is a lot lower, which would only take me to a new city with no friends, like nowhere, like a whole new city, and then still be making minimum wage and still be in the same position, just with a different salary. I'm losing hope. I'm really losing hope. I don't know what to do.
I got $72 to last me on this EBT card, and then it's done. It's done, and I gotta find a job. So, thanks a lot, and fuck you to anybody that voted for Donald Trump. Shame on you. Now we gotta go back to work. What am I gonna do?
This is Trump's America, a nation that was promised to return to greatness. But for millions of working class families, greatness has never felt so far away. So many believe in that dream, that groceries would come back, that jobs would be created, and that life would just be cheaper for ordinary people. But what's happening at the moment is struggle, suffering, and pain. You see, in every election, the poor are being told to believe, to trust, and to hope that things will be better. But in America, it seems that no matter who's in power, it always seems to be the same story, you know? And the poor keep paying the price, while the rich keep getting richer. So under Trump, millions were told that America will be rebuilt for the working man and woman, but what followed were budget cuts, you know, corporate bailouts, and policies that hit the poor hardest. So things like food stamp cuts, rising costs, and shrinking opportunities are not just isolated problems. They are the results of decades of broken system that reward greed and punish struggle. Yet the people keep hoping because hope is the only thing that is left, you know? You know, America is a system that is built to make you think that suffering, it is your fault. It's about leaders who speak to the poor, then legislate for the rich. It's about families doing everything right, you know? Working hard, staying loyal, voting faithfully, only to end up more broke, more tired, and more forgotten than before. So the system is failing them, you know? And maybe this is a time Americans, whether black, whether white, whether brown, rich, or poor, realize that the real power doesn't come from billionaires or campaign promises. It comes from demanding better together, you know? Because until that happens, the poor will keep on paying the price, while the powerful will keep crushing the checks, all right? So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.